When we hear the phrase silver lining, we always think of something positive after something difficult. That's what I want to talk about today. Um, and as always, I expressed it through a painting. This painting is called Silver Lining, if you look at it. And the intriguing part about this painting is that it began with leftover paint. I had I had no concept, I had no emotion, I had nothing in me. I was painting something else. I was painting layers of truth, and I will speak about that in another video. But when I was painting layers of truth, there was a lot of leftover paint. The colors that you see in Silver Lining were pretty much on the palette. And I am a miser that way when it comes to my paint. I just cannot, I don't have the heart to just waste it. I don't have the heart to scrape it off and say, okay, I will make something else tomorrow and then continue with the painting. But there was enough paint that I could put it on a canvas. It wasn't so little that I could scrape off or put it on a small piece of canvas paper. I had a canvas. I'm an opportunist. So I had the opportunity of the paint in front of me and the canvas, and I said, okay, let me put it together. And I painted just the background. I there was nothing in my mind. I just said, okay, there's leftover paint and let me paint the background. I painted the background. It was pretty bland. If you look at it, it was pretty bland. There was nothing to it. And as and there was no focus on this painting. The energy was on layers of truth, but this was also there, and that means when I analyze it today, whatever was happening with this painting was happening in from the back of my mind, from the subconscious, from the unconscious mind rather, not even the subconscious. So it was somewhere in my system, it was flowing, it was in the unconscious, and it was coming out on this canvas, whereas I was totally immersed into layers of truth. The the emotion, I would say, the emotion that came out in Silver Lining was started honestly with just the horizon. Usually, with most of my paintings, I when I don't know what I'm painting, so it just starts with a background, and then most of the times I swing towards painting mountains. But in this painting, I just painted the horizon. I had the blue, so I painted uh, the other half of the canvas. And somewhere I knew this is going to be a very calm painting. I had finished Layers of Truth by that time, and as the horizon came, I played with this canvas. I played with the horizon. I played with the layers on the ocean. I just played. By that time, I knew it's going to be an ocean, and I wasn't sure. Do I need to incorporate brighter colors to make it a bright sunset or a sunrise or something? And I didn't. I wanted a monotonous background, a monotonous feel to it. At the same time, I wanted to bring out my emotion to it. And while that's where the real emotion started coming in, I thought of hope. While I was painting, I was thinking of hope. What is hope? Why do people feel hope? What is it about that hope? What is it about hope that makes the world go round? And then I started thinking of that question too. People say hope is what makes the world go around. And when I was thinking of it, I realized no, it is true, but it is what makes the world within go around. That is what keeps us going as in our lives, as in terms of our emotion as a species, as growth, as progress, as everything. And while I was that's when I realized that hope is a world within us, and I wanted to paint that world. So I started questioning myself further. What is it about hope that uh, that we attach ourselves to it? Why is it so strong? Why is it so powerful? Is it faith? Is it related to faith? And I said, yes, faith, I feel, is the older brother of despair, and hope is the middle brother. Usually, the middle child is someone that we just ignore, and we are so busy either with the oldest child and the youngest child, and the middle one is kind of growing up on his or her own. That's the energy I felt. And I said, okay, so if faith is the oldest brother of despair, what is going to balance? Faith is extreme, despair is extreme. Who's going to balance it? It's always hope. I thought first it's faith and hope are two sides of the same coin, but then when I started talking to myself deeper and feeling more about this truthfully, and I realized no, faith is the oldest brother. We need to have that faith within ourselves so that we can overcome the despair that we feel, especially when we are experiencing something that is difficult and at the same time out of our control. That's when faith takes over. And for faith to take over, we need all the powerful energy of hope. So, hope is what gives us faith that this situation is going to come, get through, we are going to get by through whatever it is that we are going through. And despair can sit in the side and pout because it's the youngest child, and it's too bad, it's two against one, so despair has to deal with it. That's how I was thinking. I have my way of imagining things and reasoning things out. So this is how I thought about the whole thing. And it came out in the painting. But while I was painting, if you look at it, I did not choose any bright colors because I did not want to paint the emotion of despair. I wanted to paint just the emotion of the middle child, hope. I did not want to paint faith either because faith is something within me. I don't know what colors to give faith. It is something that um coats the entire, I think, entire flow within us, be it blood, be it water, whatever it is that we are made of. I think faith flows everywhere, up and down, left, right, everything. So at that time, I didn't know what color to give it. Hope, yes. I said, yes, this is the middle child, and hope is need not be bright and loud, announcing, this is me, I come and look at me. No, that's hope is silent to me. That's what I felt when I was painting this. I realized hope is really silent. It is a smooth operator. It comes, it it is so powerful that it exists in any form. By that I mean you do not, we are conditioned to believe, to see the light when there is darkness, to feel joy when there is sorrow, to um, those kind of emotions, those that they talk about, all of that. So I said, why hope need not be present in our lives just because there is a difficult situation or just because there is despair. No, hope just exists. Hope can exist in light as well. And that's when I realized that when I was painting this, because I did not paint any darkness. There was no darkness. This not a shady dark um, background to the horizon. I did not paint any stormy clouds, although I painted such clouds before in my other paintings. But in here, there are barely any clouds. They just a tiny piece of light over here, and I wanted to bring out just specks of clouds that are floating in the sky, in the horizon, in the background. But this tiny piece of light is so powerful that it is reflecting on the waves that are just dancing, that are just dancing with, I felt, when the waves they come to the shore, they are dancing with the shore, they are dancing uh, with the sand that they are about to touch. Very poetic, but that's how I was feeling. The dance is filled with light. That's what I'm trying to say. The light was shining on the tips of the waves. So that's how beautiful hope can be. And it exists even when there is light. And throughout this painting, I realized that one need not go through despair. There may not, you need not have to go through a difficult time. You need not have to be in um, doing your being in the darkest phase of your life to feel hope. Yes, it does exist. That this is what happens when we are in the worst of the worst. Hope is the only thing that gets us out of it, because it motivates us to do a lot of things. But at the same time, hope can exist when there is light as well. By that I mean, if the going is good, hope still exists. My going is good at the moment, but I still feel, I still hope that this will also happen, which is also good, and that will also happen, which is also good. But I am in a moment of light at the same time. So that is how my silver lining came, without the dark clouds, without the the shadow side of our emotion. So this painting is full of light, full of hope, and my reality that silver lining exists in the best of moments too. So I hope, I just hope what I said makes sense to somebody. And this is a very peaceful painting. I was really calm when I was painting it. I was analyzing this feeling of hope, faith, despair, everything in the most peaceful state of mind. And it has come out into the painting. I know it has come out in the painting. I see it. It's simple, it's not so colorful, but I feel whoever will look at it will feel that peace. It's a very calming energy. And as always, that's my intention. So if you like this painting, stay with me on this journey. Follow, subscribe, share this painting with anyone you know loves art, or would like to, or just likes to hear, emotions. And sometimes having a visual object next to that emotion helps one decode whatever it is that they're going through. So that was my intention at the same time. So stay with me on this journey, and let's see what I speak about next. Thank you for staying tuned with me today.